इस वर्ष में प्यारे बाबा ने
Beloved Baba, whatever the things that Baba has been saying in the Murlis, using these Murlis, knowing what we have to do, and all of the as yet unfulfilled hopes of Bap Dada, we will fulfill all of those. And so in the form of a promise, all of our sisters read the letters in front of the dadis, and the whole gathering stood up and also shared with this promise, and they all said that we will remain satisfied. We will satisfy everyone. And on our faces will remain always bright with happiness. We will stay in happiness and give drops of happiness to everyone. And we will stay in a peaceful stage and spread the vibrations of peace in all four directions. In all the four subjects that Baba has said, become an authority of all four subjects. We will make ourselves experienced in all of these, and we will also get others to be experienced in all of these. So this year, especially from the month of January, everyone created a plan for their personal progress. And everyone had the special aim to give others this experience. And beloved Bap Dada desires this, that through our faces and through our behavior and through our character, we will make the face of Baba evident. Yesterday in the Murli, Dadi had said that Shivratri, the birth of Shiva, is coming. And just as in Calcutta they had made a poster, so everyone noticed that poster. And we must make such a poster of beloved Baba, Shiv Baba, so that everyone pays attention and becomes aware that this is the father of all of us, and he has come in order to give all of us our spiritual rights. So Dadi has said that this year everyone should have this aim, that we will reveal beloved Bap Dada. And then the other hope of Baba, Baba wishes to have air quality souls and mic quality souls who, in the form of a rosary, need to come in front of Bap Dada. Those souls have not yet arrived, and that rosary has not yet been created. And so create such a rosary, and the children must bring that rosary, that bouquet in front of Baba. This is everyone's wish. Baba has said, you children have done a lot of exhibitions. You have served all through the villages, and you now give the message of Baba in gatherings of 100,000 or 200,000. Even that has become common. Now you children cannot do ordinary service. Now you must do such service that you do not speak
तैयार करो
but you prepare such souls
जो आप बोलना चाहते हो वे बोले
that they say what you want to say, and the sound of those souls' voices, because of their powerful and high position, what they say reaches in all directions, and they say, yes, this is it. Today we listen to the Murli of 28th of December, Avyakt Bap Dada's revised course Murli, which is originally of the 14th of November. You will not have this in your printed Murlis, so this is a different one. This is a Murli from 1987. The soul of the Murli is the instrument for becoming a worship-worthy deity is what? All of us have the aim. All of us are doing the efforts to become worship-worthy divine deity souls. And today's Murli describes the instrument, and that is the power of purity. Today, the spiritual flame is seeing his spiritual moths. What are you all? You are all spiritual moths. Each spiritual moth, with its wings of zeal and enthusiasm, is flying and has reached this happy gathering. You have all reached. All of you are flying. You have flown from so many faraway places and all reached here. This spiritual happy gathering is the extraordinary alokik gathering which the Father knows about and the children know about, no one else. What do the people of the world know? They don't know what gathering this is, who has come. With whom are we meeting? The people of the world, poor things, don't have a clue. Our language is different from theirs. It is alokik and lovely. In comparison with this spiritual attraction, the many varieties of attraction of Maya seem to be only sawdust. Are there any attractions of Maya? It isn't anything, it's only sawdust. Brahma Baba used to always ask us, children, how do you feel about this world? Does it seem very sweet, or is it tasteless, or is it bitter? How does it feel to you? How do you feel about it? Baba was asking, it shouldn't seem sweet to you. If it's tasteless, you could put a bit of sugar and enjoy it, but actually it's really very bitter. If anybody has to eat bitter medicine, it's like that. You don't like it. This world is like bitter. Baba says the attraction of Maya should not occur. You would experience that it has no
इस
taste,
संसार में
no
कोई
attraction.
सार नहीं.
It is tasteless.
यह रूहानी आकर्षण
This spiritual attraction
सदा के लिए वर्तमान और
for all
भविष्य
time,
अनेक जन्मों के लिए
for many births in the
हर्षित
future,
बनाने वाली.
is going to make you happy.
ये बाबा के प्रति हमारा आकर्षण
So Baba is
और
the
कहाँ भी बुद्धि
attraction
न
for
जावे,
us.
किसमें भी बुद्धि न
Our
जावे,
intellect doesn't go anywhere
कोई की भी
else,
आकर्षण न
and
हो.
we are not
बाबा
attracted
कहते हैं,
by
"अभी टेस्ट लो."
anyone.
एक
Baba
बार यह
is
रोज
the
मार्केट में
sweetest.
जाता था. पूरी मार्केट में घूम फिर करके वापस आता.
He went to all around the market, seeing everything that was
क्या
there
चीज़
available,
किसमें भी बुद्धि न जावे.
and he
कुछ
would
लेके नहीं
see
आता था. लोग कहते थे आप रोज जाते हो
what
परंतु लाते
would
तो कुछ
be
भी नहीं.
attractive to buy,
बाबा
and there
ये
wasn't
देखने
anything.
जाता हूँ,
And
मेरा
people used to
इसमें
ask him, why are you
आकर्षण
going
है.
around and not
Attachment
buying
है.
anything? So he
बाबा
said, I'm
कहते थे,
checking
सारी
myself
दुनिया
to see
घूमो,
if there's anything in
चाहे
this
विदेश में घूमो,
marketplace which is attracting me.
पूरा
And you could go all
विश्व में
around
भ्रमण
the
करो,
world or all around
चक्कर
every
लगाते
part of the world and see, is there anything that you want?
कहाँ भी बुद्धि न जावे.
But in fact,
कोई
your
भी
intellect would
चीज,
not go
वस्तु
anywhere.
आकर्षित न करे.
Your intellect would not be
दादी
attracted
जानकी
to
ने शुरू में
anything.
कहा था,
In the early
मैं विदेश
morning,
क्यों जा रही हूँ?
Daddy Janki
मुझे
said,
याद
why
है,
do I go to
कहा,
foreign
मैं मेरे
countries?
बाबा को दिखाने जा रही हूँ.
I go to
सारे
show
विश्व
my
को
Baba to everyone
मेरा
in the
बाबा
world,
कैसा है, कौन है.
how my Baba is, who
इसलिए
my
मैं
Baba
जा रही
is.
हूँ.
This is the reason why
मुझे
I
न
go.
विदेश में मनी चाहिए,
I
न
don't
माल
want
चाहिए,
money
न कोई
or
वस्तु
fame
चाहिए.
or any objects
कुछ
from
नहीं.
foreign countries. I
विदेश
don't
का
want
आकर्षण मुझे
anything.
नहीं है.
I have no attraction
परंतु
for the
यही
foreign
है,
world, but
मेरे बाबा को सभी
I
पहचान जाए.
have to
है
make
ना?
sure that everyone
इसलिए
recognizes my
देखो
Baba.
कितने बाबा के बच्चे आज
And you
विदेश
can
से यहाँ
see
पहुँचे
how
हैं
many
और
children
भी
from
पहुँच
foreign
जाएंगे.
countries have
बाबा
reached
की
here,
आकर्षण
and others
आप
will
सभी
also
को
come.
यहाँ तक खींच
The
करके ले
attraction
आई
of
है.
Baba has
ये
brought
भी
all of
वंडर
you
है,
here,
कमाल है.
and this is Baba's wonder.
यह रूहानी आकर्षण
This spiritual
सदा के लिए
attraction
वर्तमान और भविष्य
for all
अनेक
time,
जन्मों
for
के
the
लिए
present and for many births
हर्षित
in the
बनाने वाली.
future, is going to make you
अनेक प्रकार
constantly
के
cheerful.
दुख और अशांति की लहरों से
It is the
किनारा
one
कराने
attraction that moves you away from the waves of many kinds of sorrow and
सभी
peacelessness,
रूहानी
and this
परवाने
is why all the
इस
spiritual moths
महफिल में पहुंच गए.
have reached to this spiritual gathering.
बाप दादा
Bap Dada,
सभी परवानों को देख
seeing all the
हर्षित
moths,
होते.
is very happy.
सभी के मस्तक पर
On the foreheads of everyone,
पवित्र स्नेह,
there is the
पवित्र
pure
स्नेह
love,
के संबंध,
the relationship of pure love,
पवित्र जीवन की पवित्र दृष्टि,
the drishti of the pure drishti and pure attitude of a pure life are
के
sparkling
मस्तक पर
there on everyone's forehead. You see what Baba is seeing, pure drishti,
पवित्र
pure attitude.
स्नेह हमारा पवित्र,
Our
संबंध हमारा
love
पवित्र.
and relationship of
ये
love is
सारी
pure.
निशानियां बाबा देख रहे हैं.
Baba was seeing all of these signs on our forehead.
कहते भ्रुकुटी के बीच में चमकता है.
It is said
अजब
a
सितारे.
strange star
अजब सितारे
shines
नहीं,
in the center of the
अजब
forehead.
सितारे. हाँ? तो बाबा क्या देख रहे हैं?
So what was Baba seeing?
प्यूरिटी की शक्ति
The power of purity.
सभी के ऊपर, इन सब पवित्र
Above
निशानियों के
everyone,
सिंबल व सूचक
in the form of a symbol,
लाइट का ताज भी चमक रहा है.
the crown of light was also shining.
डबल ताज तो बाद में,
The double
अभी
crown
बाबा
is
कहते
later,
हैं,
but
पवित्रता
now
का ताज.
the crown of light of
दुनिया
purity
में तो 9 ताज
In the world,
Raj,
there is no crown,
Nigar
no
Taj,
kingdom.
Bharat मोहताज.
India is without a crown.
गांधी की टोपी भी नहीं रही है,
Now,
टाल रह गई.
even the hat of Gandhi,
बाबा
the little
कहते
white
थे,
hat, is no
टाल
longer
टालियां
there.
बढ़ती गई है ना,
They're all
वृद्धि को पाती
bald-headed
गई है.
now.
तो क्या रह गया है?
What else is left?
और बाबा आकर के
And
डबल
Baba
से
comes
ताज बना रहे हैं.
and makes you double
परंतु
crowned.
पहले
But
लाइट
first,
का ताज है.
the
रत्न
crown of
जड़ित
light
ताज
is needed.
बाद में मिलेगा.
The crown of jewels comes later on.
संगम युगी ब्राह्मण जीवन की
The
विशेषता है.
speciality of this Brahman confluence
पवित्रता
aged
की
life
निशानी.
is this sign of
यह
purity,
लाइट का ताज है,
this crown of light,
जो हर ब्राह्मण आत्मा को
which each Brahman
बाप के
soul
द्वारा प्राप्त होता है.
attains through Baba.
महान आत्मा, परमात्म भाग्यवान आत्मा,
A great soul, a godly, fortunate soul,
ऊंची आत्मा की यह
and
ताज.
a most fortunate soul. The sign of them is this crown of
ऊंचे
light.
से ऊंची आत्मा की
This
यह
crown
ताज
of light,
प्यूरिटी की निशानी है.
the sign of purity, is the
Light ka
sign of these great
तो
souls.
आप सभी
So all of you
ऐसे ताजधारी बने हो.
have become the bearers of such crowns of light,
बाबा
haven't you?
बना देते. नहीं है ना तो भी हो जाते.
Have you become this? Are you becoming it?
पहले आईना देता है, फिर कहता है
So
देखो,
first
अच्छी
Baba
तरह
is
से
showing you
देखो,
a
ऐसे
mirror
बने
and
हैं.
says, look carefully in this mirror and let Baba know if you have become this.
मात
Bab
पिता
Dada, the mother and father,
हर एक बच्चे को
give each child
जन्म से
from the moment
पवित्र
of their
भाव का
birth
वरदान
the
देते
blessing of becoming pure.
and be yogi.
It is said, be holy and
जन्मते
be
ही
yogi.
कौन सा वरदान मिला?
When you get born, you get the blessing of purity.
पवित्रता नहीं तो
If
ब्राह्मण
there
जीवन
isn't
नहीं.
purity, then there is no
No
Brahman
purity,
life.
तो कौन कहेगा आप ब्राह्मण?
If there's no purity,
Brahman
then
mana
who will say that you're a Brahman? A Brahman means purity.
आदि स्थापना से लेकर
From the beginning of the
अब तक
establishment until
पवित्रता
now,
पर ही विघ्न पड़ते आए.
there have been many obstacles coming due to
दुनिया
purity.
वाले भी विघ्न डालते,
The people of
कन्याओं,
the world
माताओं पर सितम
give
होते,
obstacles,
बंधन
they give
डालते.
problems
बाबा
to
कहते
the
हैं ना, ये
girls
सब
and
purity
mothers.
के कारण.
All these problems
यहाँ
are
पर
because of the practice of purity, because here
और
purity is the first thing.
जरूरी है.
It is
बहुत.
very, very necessary,
क्योंकि पवित्रता का
because purity is our
21
foundation.
जन्मों का foundation है.
It is the foundation for the
अभी
next
का
21
foundation,
births. The
21
foundation of
जन्मों
the
तक
present
बाबा
time
कहते हैं, तुम
will
बच्चे
endure for 21
पवित्र
births,
रहेंगे. फिर
because you will
धीरे-धीरे
remain pure for
कला
that
कमती
much
होती
time.
जाएंगी.
Then later you will decline.
पवित्रता की प्राप्ति
The attainment of
आप
purity
ब्राह्मण आत्माओं को
is
उड़ती कला के तरफ
the easy basis
सहज
for
ले जाने
taking
का
you Brahman
आधार.
souls into the flying
पहले
stage.
प्योरिटी की क्या
First,
चाहिए?
what do you need?
बाबा कहते हैं तुम्हें ये उड़ती कला के तरफ ले जाने का जो आधार है,
Purity is the foundation
ज्ञान
which
के पंख
enables
तो
you
है,
to
योग के
fly.
है,
You have the wings of yoga and knowledge, but before that you need to have the wings of purity. This is your foundation.
जैसे कर्मों की गहन गति गाई हुई है,
Just as the philosophy of karma is considered very deep, in the same way,
परिभाषा
the
भी
definition of purity is extremely deep.
पवित्रता केवल ब्रह्मचर्य की बात नहीं है.
It's not just a matter of celibacy, but in dreams, in
बाबा कहते हैं ना,
thoughts,
दृष्टि,
in
वृत्ति,
drishti, in
कृति,
attitude, in action.
सब में प्योरिटी.
There has to be purity in
अंग
every
में
degree.
सुगंध.
There should be sweetness and the stage of a lotus, the qualities of the eyes, hands, feet, mouth are the lotus. And so it is sung for each and every organ that the fragrance of purity spreads. Purity that is internal and external, clean and honest. Purity is the canopy which saves you from the many different obstacles that Maya brings. How can you remain safe? It is under the canopy of purity. Purity is called the mother of peace and purity. Otherwise, when there is no purity, there is no peace or prosperity. If there is purity in the life, then there is peace and there is happiness. This is the mother of these two virtues. If there is any kind of impurity, then it creates the experience of sorrow and peacelessness. So check throughout the day. If at any time you experience a wave of sorrow or peacelessness, if any impurity comes, why do you feel peacelessness or sorrow? It's because you made a mistake. There's something wrong. You had some impure thought or some negative thought, and therefore the soul experienced sorrow. Whether it is because of the main vice or because of a very subtle form of the vices, a teeny bit of jealousy, a little bit of animosity and negativity, difference of opinion, all these things, a little bit of irritation. It starts in the mind, then you speak, and then it comes into the action. First you think, then you start insulting, then you start hitting. So Baba says, these are sins. Baba used to say that it's okay if it comes in the mind, but don't let it come into the words and actions. But now he says don't let it come in the mind, because if it's there you cannot do service through the mind. So there should be no negative thoughts, no vice in the mind. Otherwise, what happens to the mind? It becomes full of sorrow and peacelessness. A pure life. Baba has given a very good definition. A pure life means there is no name or trace of impurity or sorrow or peacelessness. There will not be that in the golden age, but here, if a little impurity comes, you get a little feeling of sorrow and you feel peacelessness. Then Baba says, you're not having a truly pure life. Why are these feelings coming? If you want to ask about supersensuous joy, then ask the gopis and gopis. Ask yourself. Ask yourself, because then the people of the world are going to come and ask you. But they will only ask you when you remain in a natural state of happiness always. Now we are asking Baba what to do. We don't have happiness. How could we be happy
बाबा
all the
कहते
time?
हैं,
We
तुम
ask
सदा
Baba.
खुशी
Baba
में
says,
रहो,
remain
सुख
constantly
शांति
happy.
का नाम निशान
Let
न
there
हो।
be no trace of
किसी भी
sorrow or
कारण से
peacelessness for any reason.
दुख का जरा भी अनुभव होता है
If you experience even the slightest trace
तो
of sorrow,
संपूर्ण पवित्रता की
then
कमी।
it means that you haven't yet reached the
इतनी
stage
गहरी
of
बात आज
complete
बाबा सुना
purity.
रहे हैं।
Baba
मैं
is speaking
दुख
to
ना
us
आवे, जरा
about
भी
something
दुख
very,
ना।
very deep. Not the
मैं
slightest
दुखी
trace
हूँ।
of sorrow should
दादी
come.
हमारी कहती है ना, मैं गरीब हूँ, तो
Sometimes
भी अपन
Daddy
को दुखी
says,
फील करेंगे।
if I'm poor
बूढ़ी हूँ,
or if I'm old,
मैं अभी कुछ
they will
नहीं कर
say,
सकती हूँ,
I'm unhappy.
मेरी अभी
They
तबीयत ठीक
say,
नहीं
my
है,
health is not
थोड़ा
good,
भी
I can't do anything.
ये
Even
फील
the
करना
slightest
ये क्या है,
bit
दुखी
of
होना
this
है।
thought
तो ये
is to
purity में
feel
impurity।
sorrow, and so that thought is a thought of
गहरी बात
impurity.
बाबा
So Baba
सुना
is
रहे हैं।
showing us the
संपूर्ण
depths.
पवित्रता की कमी। ये
And this
ऐसे
is
ऐसे
not
संकल्प
quite
भी
perfect
आना
purity.
दुखी करता है।
When these thoughts come, they bring forth sorrow.
पवित्र जीवन अर्थात
A pure life
बाप दादा के द्वारा प्राप्त
means
हुई
that
वरदानी जीवन है।
a life full of blessings has been attained through
अंडरलाइन
Bap
कर दो, ये
Dada.
वरदानी जीवन है।
This is a life,
बाप
a
दादा
blessed
के द्वारा
life.
ऐसी जीवन
And through
हमें
Baba, we have received a blessed life.
ब्राह्मणों के संकल्प में
In the thoughts of
वा
Brahmins,
मुख में
or in their words,
यह शब्द कभी नहीं होने चाहिए
these words should
कि
never
इस
occur
बात के कारण
that because of
वा
this
इस
person
व्यक्ति
or
के
because
कारण
of this reason,
इसके व्यवहार के कारण
because of this
मुझे दुख
interaction,
होता है।
I experience
किसी
sorrow.
व्यक्ति को दोष नहीं देना,
So we cannot blame
किसी के
any
behavior
person's
का ख्याल नहीं
behavior.
करना।
We cannot think
किसी
about
का
anyone's
व्यवहार कैसा भी
behavior or how they
कोई हमारे
operate
से कैसा भी व्यवहार
or
करे,
how
बाबा
they
कहते हैं
behave
ना,
with us or deal with us or treat
कोई
us.
मुंह मोड़ लेवे, तुम्हारा काम है
Our
हर एक को
job
स्नेह
is
देते
to give love to
हर एक
everyone
से तुम्हारा रिश्ता कितना प्यारा
and
हो,
make
मीठा
sure
हो,
that from our side the relationship should
behavior
be
बहुत
loving
अच्छा
and
कोई
respectful
अच्छा
and
बने
very
तो
good
मैं अच्छा
behavior,
रहूं।
regardless of how the other one is
तो ये भी
conducting
किसी
themselves.
आत्मा को दोष देना,
And
ये
so
भी
if you
impurity। देखो
assign blame to someone,
ये
then this
कारण
is a form
बताना,
of
reason
impurity.
बताना, इसलिए मुझे दुख
You
होता है।
find some reason or some person's behavior as to why you feel sorrow. Baba says, no, you cannot blame anyone.
ये भी purity है।
Everyone is blameless. To
आत्मा
think this
में
way is a
कोई
form
का
of
भी
purity.
दोष जरा भी, किसी की भी बुराई
So
क्यों
not
नजर
to look at anyone's
राई कितनी छोटी
defect, even if it is
बुराई
very
बुद्धि में ना
small, it shouldn't
है ना,
come
किसी
into
का
your
बुरा ना देखे,
intellect.
कहते हैं ना, सुनो नहीं, देखो नहीं,
It is
बोलो
said,
नहीं,
do not see
तो ये भी
or
क्यों
speak
आया
or
कि इसका
hear or
व्यवहार
think
ऐसा
of
है, ये है,
anyone's
वो है।
behavior in a critical
बाबा
way.
कहते हैं, किसी को ना देखो
Do not see
बाप को
these
देखो,
things of a
आत्मा को
person. Just see
स्वभाव
Baba,
को नहीं देखो,
see the
स्व का
soul.
भाव
Do not
परिवर्तन
see
करो।
the nature of a person, because our practice is
आत्मा
to
का
change
स्वभाव
our
क्या है?
nature. What is the nature of
आत्मा
the
के
soul?
ओरिजिनल
The
क्वालिटीज क्या है,
original,
गुण
what are
क्या
the
है,
original
उसको
qualities
याद
and
करो।
virtues of the
तो
soul?
ये भी बातें
Remember
कभी बुद्धि
those,
में
and then these things will not taint your intellect.
कभी साधारण रीति में ऐसे बोल भी देते हैं,
Even if these words are spoken in an ordinary
या
way
अनुभव भी करते हैं।
or are experienced,
ये पवित्र ब्राह्मण जीवन के बोल
still these are not the words of a
किसी
pure
की और अंगुली
Brahman
नहीं उठाओ।
life. You cannot
ऐसी
point your
अंगुली
finger towards
कहते हैं ना,
anyone,
अपनी
but the
ओर आ
finger
जाती है।
only can point upwards or towards
कोई
the
की
self.
तरफ एक उठाते, अपने तरफ कितनी आती है।
When you point a finger
इसलिए
towards
बाबा
somebody,
कहते
how
हैं,
many fingers are pointing back at
इसने
yourself?
ऐसा किया तब ऐसा हुआ।
This is why Baba says, you say somebody did this and this is why this
छोटे-छोटे
happened.
बच्चे ऐसे करते
This
हैं,
is a childish
एक दूसरे की
behavior. to find fault with one another, to talk about one another in a critical way is not suitable. To the adult children of Baba, it is not an aspect of maturity but childishness. Therefore, Baba was saying, do not use such language, and it should also not come into your mind. The Brahman life means, what is the Brahman life? At every second, it is a life of happiness. Every second. You see how Baba defines it so closely. You should not feel even for a second that I am peaceless or sorrowful. Or today my mind was very peaceless. Because this is a life of happiness, then only the people of the world can say, Vah, whose children are these? Who have they got? What have they got? Through our face and our life, people will come to know, they'll come to ask. It'll be in their mind. So today, Baba is telling us very good things. This is a very happy life. Even if you observe scenes of sorrow, and there are scenes of sorrow appearing in front of you, because there are such scenes, there will be great upheaval. There is the expression, death to the prey and a kill for the hunter. You should not be shocked or upset or traumatized when you see death. You should not cry. This is a child of Baba and crying. Who's going to believe that they have attained God? So, how should be our stage in this life of happiness? But where there is the power of purity, even in the scenes of sorrow, they will not experience sorrow. That what happened? Why did so much sorrow come over me? Why am I having so much fear? Why is there so much problem of the body? Baba's not hearing me or doing anything. Sometimes children complain to Baba in this way. Baba says, this is your karmic account getting settled. And you say, yes, this is good. Say thank you. Because when your burden is finished, you become free. When you finish your debts with anyone, you become free. No burden, no debt on your head. Nothing left to pay. Whatever you had to give, you gave it. You became light. So Baba says, don't also think in that way, no matter how much sorrow comes. You see, Kunti, the mother of the Pandavas, was abused a great deal, but still, Baba says, regardless of that, smile, keep smiling and face it, and keep your face very good, and learn how to endure it with a stable face. You will get the power from Baba to do this if you do have a strong relationship with Baba, good yoga and purity. The power to do this comes to you. So today, Baba says, if you have even a little bit of the experience of sorrow, this is impurity. Become like the Father, the remover of sorrow and bestower of happiness. You are the child of the bestower of happiness, the giver of happiness, the children of Sukdev. You should not have sorrow.
दुख के
be
वायुमंडल
like
में
the Father
दुख
in
में
the
व्यक्तियों
atmosphere
को
of sorrow,
सुख शांति के
giving
वरदानी
the
बन
blessings of peace and happiness
सुख
to the
शांति
sorrowful
की
souls.
अंजलि देंगे.
Give them a
अगर हम
drop
ही दुखी
of
होते
peace and
रहेंगे
happiness
तो दूसरों को सुख शांति की
and
अंजलि कैसे
transform
देंगे?
their sorrow.
हाँ, वरदान कैसे देंगे?
How will you give this
महादान कैसे
blessing?
होगा?
How
बाबा
will you
कहते
be a
हैं
bestower of
हमें तो
blessings?
लोगों को हाँ, दुख से छुड़ाना है.
We have to
Liberator
remove
है.
the sorrow of
हम
people.
कौन हैं?
Who are we?
हम गाइड हैं.
We are guides,
और हम ही अगर इनसे
and
हाँ, बाबा कहते हैं ना, तुम जब दुख से छूटेंगे,
when
ना दुख
you
दो,
are free
ना
from
दुख दो,
sorrow, you do not take and you do
दूसरों
not
के
give
लिए
sorrow,
तुम भी
then
हाँ,
for
दुख
others
हरता, सुख
you will
करता
be
बन जाए.
able to be the
अंजलि
removers
देते
of
रहेंगे.
sorrow and bestowers of happiness.
मास्टर सुख करता बन.
Become a master
दुख को
bestower of
रूहानी
happiness,
सुख के वायुमंडल में
and in the
परिवर्तन
atmosphere
करें.
of sorrow,
वायुमंडल को ही
transform
परिवर्तन
it
करना.
into an atmosphere of spiritual
इसी को ही
happiness.
कहा जाता है
This is known
दुख
as
हरता, सुख
a
करता.
remover of sorrow and a bestower
जब
of
साइंस
happiness.
की शक्ति अल्पकाल के लिए
Since the power of
किसी
science
का दुख
can
दर्द समाप्त
temporarily
कर देती है.
remove someone's sorrow or pain,
हीटर,
give a
साधन
heater
दे
in the cold weather,
गर्मी में पंखा,
or a fan or air conditioner in the
इतना
heat.
साइंस ने ऐसे ऐसे साधनों द्वारा
Through the instruments of science, we have
तो बाबा
received
कहते
a
हैं,
lot of
साइलेंस
comfort.
क्या नहीं कर सकते.
So what
साधना
cannot
क्या नहीं कर
silence
सकते.
do?
साधना से आप बच्चे
Your
भी
spiritual
सभी को
practice
सुख का अनुभव कराओ,
is the thing
दुख
that
दर्द
can
समाप्त करो.
give everyone the experience
बड़ी
of
सेवा करनी
happiness
है.
and remove their pain and sorrow. This is very high quality
पवित्रता
service.
की शक्ति,
The
अर्थात
power of purity
साइलेंस की शक्ति
is the power of
दुख दर्द
silence.
समाप्त नहीं कर सकती.
Can it not destroy the
साइलेंस की
sorrow
शक्ति
and
कितनी
peacelessness of
कमाल है.
others? The
जब
power of
साइंस की
silence
शक्ति कर
can
रही
do
है, तो
miracles.
बाबा कहते हैं प्योरिटी की भी इतनी शक्ति.
Since
और
science
साइलेंस की
has great
शक्ति
power, how
सभी
great
के
would be the
दुख
power
दर्द
of
को
the
समाप्त
blessings
करे.
of purity and silence.
साइंस की दवाई में अल्पकाल की शक्ति है.
The
गोली लिया,
medicine of
इंजेक्शन
science
लिया,
can,
दर्द
by
दूर हो
its
गया.
temporary power,
बाबा कहते हैं,
remove
तुम
someone's
बच्चे भी
sorrow
किसी
and
को टच
distress.
करो, किसी का दुख दूर हो जाए.
You have to
सकाश
be
दो.
able to give
इतनी
sakash
शक्ति दो.
and touch the
इतना
people and
याद
give
में
them
रह
so
करके हम
much
लोगों ने
power
साकार
that they
बाबा से
don't
वो
experience
अनुभव
it
किया.
anymore.
मुझे याद है अहमदाबाद
I
में
remember
दादी
in
जानकी की
Ahmedabad,
टांग नहीं चल रही थी. बाबा ने याद में
one
एप्पल
time Daddy couldn't walk and Baba had
विशेष
sent an
घास भेजा,
apple
sciatica हो गया.
specially. She had very bad sciatica
ये करंट आई.
and there was
और
a
टांगें चलना
current
शुरू हो
that came and she started to be
कमाल
able to
बाबा की.
walk. It was
शॉर्ट में
Baba's
सुनाती
miracle.
हूँ.
I'm telling you just
परंतु
briefly,
ये बाबा से हम लोगों ने मम्मा से
but
अनुभव किए.
we've had this experience from Baba
साइलेंस
and
की
from
शक्ति
Mama,
बाबा ऐसे
how
टच
the
करते
power
थे.
of
बच्ची का
silence
सिर दर्द
touches
दूर हो जाता.
the soul and removes
बुखार उतर
their
जाता.
fever or
है?
their
ये हम
extreme
सभी ने अनुभव
headache.
किया है.
We've all had
बाबा
this
कहते तुम
experience.
बच्चे क्या
Baba
नहीं कर
says,
सकते.
what can you children not do?
पवित्रता की शक्ति में,
The power of
पवित्रता
purity,
की दुआ में
the
कितनी
blessings
बड़ी
of
शक्ति है.
purity are a
दुआ,
huge
पवित्र
power.
आदमी क्या नहीं कर सकते. कहते ना वो लोग कभी पैसे नहीं लेंगे. अगर
They say
लेंगे तो वो
these
ताकत चली जाती है.
spiritual
शक्ति
healers
नहीं
don't
रहती.
take money. If they
है
do,
ना?
then they
थोड़ा
lose
भी
their
लोभ आया,
powers.
लालच हुई,
If a few people come,
मांगना शुरू कर देंगे तो
then
वो
they start asking for
उनमें भी
money,
शक्ति
then
नहीं
they
रहती है.
lose
बाबा
their
कहते,
power.
पवित्रता की दुआ कोई कम बात नहीं है.
The blessings of purity are no
समय
small
प्रमाण.
thing. According to time,
जब आज के व्यक्ति दवाइयों से
when today's
कारने
people,
अकारने तंग
for
होंगे,
one reason or another,
सुन लो.
experience trouble,
दवा दवाई खा खा के भी तंग आ जाते हैं.
Sometimes there are problems even from the
खरीदना भी
medicines,
मुश्किल है.
or they cannot buy
खाना
them.
तो छोड़ो, कितनी खाएं, उसका
How
भी
much
रिएक्शन आ जाता है.
money it takes,
बहुत सारी दवाइयाँ दे देते हैं. तब क्या
and
होगा?
they have to have a lot of medicine.
दवाइयों से कारने अकारने तंग होंगे.
They will get problems
बीमारियाँ
from
अति में
the
जाएंगी.
medicines, and the illnesses go
तो
to their
समय
extreme
पर
degree. Then at that time,
आप पवित्र देव और देवियों के पास
they will come to you,
दुआ
pure
लेने आएंगे.
deities, to receive
माँ
blessings.
के पास जाएंगे.
They will go to the
मंदिरों
mother.
में देखो, देवियों
You
के
can
पास
see
जाकर
how
के
people
दुआएं
go
मांगते.
to the goddesses' temples to
वो
ask for
पवित्रता
blessings.
की दुआ काम करेंगी, असर
Your influence of purity will do the
हमें
worक and
दुख
have the
अशांति
influence.
से सदा के
They
लिए
say,
दूर करो.
remove our sorrow for all
पवित्रता
time.
की दृष्टि
They say
कोई साधारण शक्ति नहीं.
the drishti and vritti of purity is not a small power. It is a very big
आज
power.
बाबा हम सभी को वो सुना रहे हैं.
Baba is
बहुत
telling
बड़ी
us
शक्ति है,
it's a
बहुत
very big
इतना
power.
कार्य करती है.
It does a great deal of work.
पवित्र दृष्टि दुआ देती है, दर्द दूर कर देती है.
It removes the sorrow.
ये सब धीरे धीरे
Gradually,
अनुभव करेंगे.
people will
देवताओं के
experience
मंदिरों में
this.
जाते,
They
उनके
go
नयन
to the
चैन
deities, see their
अपने
eyes and
याद
faces.
करते हैं तो घर में शांति नहीं मिलती. मंदिर में जाएंगे,
If
दो
you
बड़ी
remember
उनकी
them at home, it won't work, but they go to the temples and they
प्यासी
ask
क्या
for
करते?
mercy.
शांति का अनुभव कराते. मन की शांति
They
का.
get the
जड़ मूर्तियाँ
experience from
शांति
these
देती.
um,
उनके नैन चैन देख करके
non-living
मन में
idols.
शांति आ जाती.
They get an
दर्शन
experience
करने से
of peace of
प्रसन्न हो
mind.
जाते हैं.
They get
और
contentment.
साक्षात मनुष्यों को देखने से अशांत
So
हो जाते हैं.
when they see people, they get
बाबा कहते हैं, इनसे
peacelessness.
जड़ मूर्तियों में कितनी पावर है.
So even in the idols, there is so much power which is not yet in the living
हमें
ones.
दुख अशांति से सदा के लिए दूर करो. पवित्रता
They
की
say,
दृष्टि
take away our
कितनी
sorrow.
महान है.
The drishti
यह
of
थोड़े
purity
समय
is
की
so powerful.
शक्तिशाली दृष्टि व वृत्ति
For this short
सदा
period
काल
of
की
time,
प्राप्ति कराने वाली है.
this drishti of a few
जैसे अभी
seconds gives a
जिस्मानी
long-term
डॉक्टर्स
benefit.
और जिस्मानी हॉस्पिटल्स समय
Just
प्रति
as
समय
the
बढ़ते भी
physical hospitals and doctors
जाते हैं, फिर भी डॉक्टर्स को फुर्सत नहीं है.
are increasing, yet
हॉस्पिटलों
the
में
hospitals
स्थान
don't have
नहीं है.
time and the hospitals don't have space.
इतनी भरपूर है.
They're so full,
देखो कमरा नहीं मिलता.
you can't get a room.
हाउसफुल वहाँ भी.
It's
बाबा
house
कहती है
full.
ना, कहाँ पट पर बेचारों को सुलाते, कहाँ कितनों को तो वापस लौटा देते.
Many people get
ये सब अति में
sent
जा
back
रहा है.
home. Everything is going
ये
to its
समय आ गया
extreme.
है.
The time has already
रोगियों
come.
की सदा ही क्यू लगी हुई होती है.
There is a constant queue of
डॉक्टरों के
sick
दर पर
people
भीड़ लगी हुई है.
who want to go to the doctors and
इतने
get treatment,
busy है,
but
फुर्सत नहीं है.
they don't have time.
ऐसे आगे चल
In the future,
हॉस्पिटल्स व
the
डॉक्टर्स
hospitals
के
and
पास
doctors
जाने का, दवाई करने का
and to get
चाहते हुए
medicine,
भी जा नहीं सकते.
they want to go and
ऐसी
get this, but
परिस्थिति
they will
आएंगी,
not be able
डॉक्टर्स
to
आपके
go.
पास नहीं आ सकेंगे.
The doctors will
आप
not be able to
डॉक्टर्स
come
के
to
पास
you,
नहीं जा सकेंगे.
and you will not be able to go
ऐसा
to the
समय
doctors. Such a time will
लोगों
come.
ने अनुभव किया. जब earthquake आया,
We experienced this when we had the big earthquake. There was a curfew or a civil war. The doctors can't move. Then what will you do? You can't get medicine. What will you do?
बाबा कहते हैं,
Baba says,
बाबा को याद करके अपने आप को
remember Baba and you will automatically
अपने
get
आप
okay.
कैसे प्यूरिटी की शक्ति द्वारा
By the power of purity,
अपने रोग को, भोग को,
turn
वेदनाओं को,
your
कष्टों को
sickness
कैसे दूर
and
करना
pain
होगा.
into
भगवान के सामने
yoga.
जाके हमारे कष्ट दूर
Go
करो।
in front of
इतनी
God,
अच्छी बात बाबा सुनाते,
as the
पर
devotees
क्या
go
करें?
in front of God, but you have to be able to do this
शुरू
by
में
your
दादियाँ
yoga.
डॉक्टरों को हाथ लगाने नहीं देती थी।
In the early days,
बाबा
the
ने कहा
daddies
डॉक्टर
didn't
और उनको
allow
टच करे,
doctors to touch
नहीं,
them.
दवा लेनी ही नहीं है,
You don't
चाहे कितनी
you
भी
have to
तकलीफ
have
हो, कुछ भी हो,
medicine.
डॉक्टर को बच्ची याद किया ही क्यों?
They said to,
है ना,
Baba said to the
शुरू-शुरू में
children,
तो
don't
किसी को
remember
कुछ भी
doctors,
हो,
no matter how bad
डॉक्टर को
something
याद किया
is.
फेल,
If you remember the
बाबा
doctor,
को
that
याद
means
करो,
fail.
अपने
You
आप
have to
को
remember Baba.
आप ही ठीक कर लो।
Make
शुरू-शुरू में
yourself
हमारी
okay.
दादियाँ
This is the
देखो,
training that Baba
हाँ,
gave.
बहुत डॉक्टर को कभी याद नहीं करना है, दवा को याद नहीं करना है,
So
बाबा
not
को
to
याद
remember the doctor or the medicine,
बाबा
but to
अपने
remember
आप ठीक
Baba
कर
in
देंगे।
illness, and Baba will
तो
make you
इसलिए
all
ये
right.
समय आएगा,
That time
दवाइयाँ भी
will
असर
also
नहीं
come
करेंगी,
when the
ये भी
medicines
काम
won't
नहीं देंगी।
work.
मेजॉरिटी निराश हो जाएंगे तो क्या करेंगे?
When the majority of people are in a
जब
hopeless
दवा से
condition,
निराश
then
होंगे,
what will you do?
तो कहाँ जाएंगे?
Where will they go when the medicines
आप
don't
लोगों
work?
के पास
They will
लंबी
come
क्यू लगेंगी।
to you in a long, long queue.
कौन सी क्यू लगेंगी? कैसी क्यू लगेंगी?
How will this queue
कोई क्या
be?
लेने आएंगे?
Some will come for
बहुत लंबी
something.
क्यू लगने
It'll
वाली
be
है।
a very long
अभी तो
queue.
हम क्यों क्यों करते रहते हैं।
Now we're still doing the queue
बाबा
of why
कहते
and
हैं,
what.
तुम्हारे पास अब क्यू लगेंगी तो क्या करेंगे?
So what will you
देना
do when
पड़ेगा।
there is a big queue?
रेडी
You have
रहना
to be
पड़ेगा।
ready to
हाँ,
give.
एवर रेडी।
Be ever ready.
तो इसलिए हाँ, अभी क्या क्या अपने में भरपूर संपन्न
So
करना है।
now you have to fill yourself
जैसे
completely.
अभी आपके बाप के जड़ चित्रों के सामने
Just as
ओ
in
दयालु,
front of
दया
they
करो,
go in front of your images or the images of
कहकर
Baba
दया
saying,
व
oh, have
दुआ
mercy
मांगते
on
रहते।
us. They ask for
अभी
mercy.
कहाँ मांगते हैं? देखो दया कौन करेगा, दुआ कौन करेगा?
Who
बाबा
will
कहते हैं,
give them
सर्व
mercy?
दयालु एक ही है,
There's only one
रहम,
merciful Father
compassion,
who can give
करुणावर्ष।
compassion,
देखो रहम, तो
mercy.
ये तुम्हारा काम,
To
ये
give
डॉक्टर्स
mercy
भी
and
नहीं कर सकते।
compassion is your work. The doctors can't do this.
ऐसे आप चैतन्य पवित्र
You
पूज्य आत्माओं के
living,
पास,
pure, worship-worthy
ओ
souls,
पवित्र देवियों,
they will come to you and
पवित्र
say, hey,
देव,
pure deities,
हमारे ऊपर दया करो।
give us
इतना
mercy.
मना करते हैं, चरणों में झुकते हैं।
And they will
दादी जी
bow to you.
कलकत्ता से लौटे तो प्लेन में कितने लोग दादी के पाँव में
When Dadi was coming back from Calcutta, many people came to fall at her feet and ask for blessings because they had seen her picture on the poster. So many people came in the plane.
तीन देवियाँ,
And Baba said, there are 3 deities
प्रत्यक्ष हो रही है,
and they are
आएंगे
becoming
आपके चरणों में,
known.
झुकेंगे,
Baba had said they will bow to you, they will fall at your feet, they will ask for mercy, and so you have to be able to give this and satify them. Now Baba is showing this.
हमारे ऊपर दया करो, सुख
And give,
शांति की दया लेने के लिए कितने
special
भटकते रहते,
Healing powers.
समझते हैं,
They believe
दूर से भी दृष्टि पड़ जाए,
that the drishti from the
बस लंबे होके
gurus
दर्शन करते हैं।
could affect them even from a big distance.
बाबा कहते हैं ना, दृष्टि पड़े ना पड़े, वो देखे ना देखे, हाथ
They
ऐसा
feel
आशीर्वाद का देवे
they
या
they
ना देवे,
want,
परंतु
even if
क्या
the
करते हैं,
eyes or
अपनी
the
भावना से
hands
तो
go in their
समझते हैं,
direction,
दूर
they
से भी
still
दृष्टि पड़
feel
जाए,
that the
हम
drishti
पावन हो
will
जाए।
affect them and they will
बाबा
become
कहते हैं, ये
purified.
भावना
This
लोगों
is
की
their
दिन
faith,
प्रतिदिन बढ़ती जाएंगी।
and this is increasing as the days go by.
विधि द्वारा
But you, through the method of the Supreme Being, will become the embodiment of the right method. When the temporary supports no longer work and there is hopelessness in all directions, and they experience this, then where will they go?
यह जो भी अल्पकाल की सिद्धि वाले हैं,
These people who give temporary peace and happiness or spiritual healing,
अल्पकाल की सिद्धि प्राप्त करते।
By your attainments,
यदि जो उनको सिद्धि प्राप्त हुई है,
you are the ones who have
जो विधि
attained
बताती
the
है, ये भी
attainments.
प्योरिटी के कारण ही है।
And all of this is on the basis
इसका
of
भी कारण क्या
purity.
है? अल्पकाल के लिए भी जो कर रहे,
And whatever they are
ये भी
doing
पवित्रता
temporarily
के कारण।
is still on the
मगर
base
इसमें भी
of
थोड़ा
purity.
बताया ना, कि लोभ, स्वार्थ,
But
मतलब,
when there is greed and
भावनाएं
selfishness,
बदल गई,
and
वो
the
भी असर
attitude
नहीं
is
करती।
finished
वो भी
and changed,
नाकामयाब हो
then
जाती
they are
है।
no longer able to
इसीलिए बाबा कहते हैं
have
वो
these
सदा
powers
नहीं कर
to
सकती।
help people, and they run
यह
out.
भी गोल्डन एजेड आत्माओं को,
And now here the golden aged
अर्थात
souls,
लास्ट में ऊपर से आई हुई आत्माओं को,
those who have come
पवित्र
from above
मुक्ति
at the
धाम
very
से
end,
आने के कारण
because they wish to return to the world of purity and according to the system of drama,
सतोप्रधान स्टेज के प्रमाण,
because they have to attain the Satopradhan stage, and they have to attain the fruit of their purity,
प्राप्त हो जाती।
they do attain some temporary success.
कि ये सिद्धियां भी क्यों प्राप्त
These
हुई
souls
है?
who are
क्योंकि
at the
ऊपर से
golden
आत्माएं
aged
उतरी
stage, who come down from
Pure
above at the
आत्माएं
very
आई।
end, they are pure
जिनों का
souls.
बाबा कहते हैं ना, बस मच्छर जन्मा और मरा,
Like
अभी-अभी
Baba
आई
has
है,
said, they're
और अभी-अभी
mosquitoes, they
इनका
come down
पाठ पूरा होना
and
है।
then they finish.
तो इस तमोगुणी दुनिया में उनका मर्तबा हो जाता है,
So they get some fame in this
मान हो जाता है, चमत्कार
Tamil
दिखा
Pradhan
देते, लोग
world. They
नमस्कार
show
करने लग
miracles, people start
जाते। ये भी
bowing to
ड्रामा
them.
अनुसार पार्ट मिला हुआ
They got this part according to
अल्पकाल
drama
की
of temporary
सिद्धि उनको
success,
प्राप्त हुई है,
which
हासिल
is the
हुई है,
fruit of
तो
their
इसलिए
purity.
उनका नाम हो जाता है।
And so they become
भी
famous.
बहुत समय तक नहीं चलने वाली।
But it wouldn't last very long.
जैसे हमारा झाड़ पुराना हो गया, वो नई नई आत्माएं ऊपर
Our
से आती
tree
हैं,
has
हरे भरे
become
पत्ते
very
हैं।
old, so but these are
कहते हैं,
brand
औरों
new
का तो
leaves
कितना
just
followers
arrived
हो
from
गए,
the soul
हमारे
world, so they have lots
बाबा
of
कहते हैं,
followers.
वो हरे पत्ते हैं,
Baba used to
ऊपर से आए
say,
हुए हैं,
these are
pure
green
soul
leaves, pure
हम impure
souls.
soul अभी
We have
pure बन
become
रही है।
impure souls now becoming
तो
pure.
इसलिए देवी देवताओं का झाड़
So the
अभी
tree of
फिर से नए
deities
सर कलम लग
is
रहा है।
being
तो इसलिए टाइम तो
replanted.
लगेगा।
So it
तो
will
लोग
take time.
वो देखते हैं और कितने उनके पीछे
People see these
followers
new
बन
souls
जाते हैं।
and they
तो
get
इसमें
attracted
हमें
and become their
ये नहीं आना
followers.
चाहिए कि भाई
But do
देखो,
not get caught up in
इनका
that
जलवा कितना है। ये
and
अल्पकालीन
thinking that
है,
they are doing so well
सदाकालीन
and we
है।
are not. It's because
ये
there's
अल्पकाल की
is
सिद्धियां,
very temporary
लेकिन
attainments.
थोड़े समय में ही
But within a short time,
सतो रजो तमो तीनों स्टेजेस पास करने
they have to
वाली
pass
आत्माएं।
through these three stages of Sato,
तो
Rajo,
सतयुग
Tamo
से
very
लेकर के
quickly.
सतो रजो तमो में आ गए।
We have only
वो
reached
तमोगुणी
Tamo
दुनिया
after
में
thousands of
अभी गोल्डन एज
years.
है उनों की।
They are in their
रजो
golden
होंगी, फिर
age,
धीरे-धीरे तमो होंगी।
but very quickly they become
कलयुग में
Tamo
उनों की
Pradhan.
तीनों अवस्थाएं आनी है।
They have to pass
पहले
through
सुख
all
से
three
धीरे-धीरे
stages here in
वो भी
the
दुख में
Iron
आएंगे।
Age.
बाबा
They
कहते
have
हैं,
a little
उनका
happiness
पीरियड
and
थोड़ा
then
है।
also a lot of
थोड़े
sorrow.
पीरियड में वो गोल्डन एज
They
में है, फिर
have a very
धीरे-धीरे
short period.
सतो रजो तमो में आएंगी। ये बाबा ड्रामा, हाँ?
In
और
this
चक्र
way,
का क्या
Baba
है
has
राज,
explained
गुहे
the
राज
very
बाबा
deep
सुनाते।
secret of drama.
तीनों स्टेजेस पास करने वाली है।
These are the people who have to
इसलिए
pass through the
सदाकाल
three
की
stages,
सिद्धि नहीं रहती।
and therefore their attainments do not
परमात्मा
remain for
विधि
a
से
long
वो कोई
time,
सिद्धि नहीं है।
because their success is
इसलिए
not because
कहाँ
of
न
the
कहाँ
method given by
स्वार्थ
God. And this
व
is why
अभिमान सिद्धि को
their
समाप्त कर
selfishness or arrogance
दो बातें
brings
आ
their
जाती हैं,
attainment
बताया
to
ना?
an end and they
स्वार्थ
run out
मतलब,
of power.
हाँ, लोभ,
Selfishness,
लालच,
greed,
तो इसके वजह
desires,
से उनों की सिद्धि
and
खत्म हो
then
जाती
their powers
है। वो असर नहीं
run
करती,
out and are no
अल्पकालिक
longer effective.
समाप्त हो जाती है।
They finish.
आप पवित्र
But
आत्माएं
you pure souls
सदा सिद्धि
are
स्वरूप
constantly the embodiment of
सदा की
success.
प्राप्ति शांति कराने वाली,
You bring about success for all time.
चमत्कार दिखाने वाले नहीं हो.
You are not just those who bring a sparkle and show little miracles.
वो जो चीज नहीं है और वो दिखा देंगे.
Those people cause something to appear out of nowhere on their hands, and what do you do? That is the fire of vice. But what is your miracle? At the end, there will be the cries of victory, and they will bow to you. You do not have that kind of miraculous powers. Baba doesn't teach you that. But listen to each one of Baba's sentences. No miracles, but the sparkling light. You become the embodiment of that sparkling light. The imperishable sparkling stars of fortune is what you make them. So these are supports that last for just a short time. They catch hold of their hands, but Baba again and again underlines that this is only for a short time. Here today, gone tomorrow. They appear and they disappear. But ultimately you, pure souls, are the ones they will come to. This is a guarantee, they will come to you. Baba is speaking with faith, and you must also have faith. And do not get caught up in anyone. Do not get impressed by anyone. And people used to complain that the Brahma Kumaris only just say what Baba says. It's because they haven't recognized the ocean is the ocean. Now the children are rivers. Their children, they haven't yet recognized the Father. So why does Baba come? He used to say to we children, never these words should come out to compare Baba with anyone, because he is incomparable. All of these who look like supports today, they will disappear tomorrow. You have become such pure souls. Have you become this? Because once you become this, then they will come and recognize you as the supporters, and they will catch hold of your hands, and they will cooperate with you and go with you. But until you have reached that stage, then how? Have you accumulated the stock of so many blessings? Have you taken blessings for yourself, or do you still ask for blessings? Take so many blessings from the seniors and become the embodiment of knowledge. You have filled yourself with the love of Baba. Now show such activity that Baba's hand is always on your head, not anyone else's. In the early morning, make sure the hand of blessing of Baba is always over us. First there is Baba's hand, later the crown. Sit down. Do not ask for it, but take the blessing. Become worthy and receive the blessings. Then your stock will accumulate. Mama used to say your stock will come when your talk finishes. Baba wasn't keen on talkative children, but people who don't talk very much, they accumulate in their stock. Then they can distribute to others. Are you still looking for blessings for your own self?
सीमित न रहे.
So you have to accumulate it, but make it available for the whole world.
बाबा कहते हैं ऐसे हम निमित्त बने हुए हैं.
Have you become instrumental in this way? Have you accumulated so much that your hand of blessing is on everyone? There are some children who even now, from time to time, are asking for blessings or boons in one or an aspect or another. They say, give us blessings. So those who are asking, how can they become bestowers? He gives without you asking, so why are you asking? He's giving you unlimitedly, but you are asking from him. So Baba says the people who are asking, how can they become bestowers? So you must understand the greatness of the power of purity. Purity means that from now you become a worship-worthy deity. It's not something that becomes there at the very end. If you can't do anything now, what will you be able to do at the end? Because no one will be able to do anything at the end. Baba is making us make effort now. Baba is with us and making us do. And so, if we're not doing now, how are we going to be able to do at the end? This is a power that is accumulated over a long period of time, which will do the work at the end. You need practice of a very, very long time. You need to make the effort for a long time so that at the end you have this. Nothing will be there at the end. Do you understand the depth of purity? When your eyes cannot see, your mouth cannot speak, when your body is trembling, what will you be able to do? Once I said to Daddy, Daddy, please would you rest? Please don't talk. And she said, hey, you. She said, as long as this body is giving company, when this is the time to do things, don't stop me. Even my dead body will speak, she said. Don't stop me. So when I heard this from Daddy, that this is the time, and we would say, Daddy, rest. She said, why? This can never be. This is the time to do. So as much as can be done, whatever can be done, because we will not be able to do it later. The mother of constancy in the soul is purity. This is the depth of purity. It is not ordinary. You remain celibate. You have become pure, but purity is the mother. Purity comes, but also peace. You say Om Shanti, but do you have peace? Never to speak with arrogance or a very strong voice, getting upset, unable to be set. Daddy said, person like that can't say Om Shanti. So the mother has come, purity the mother, and then peace and happiness will come automatically. And then they will say, you are pure. Baba has given the good purity, whether in your thoughts or attitudes, in the atmosphere or words
संपर्क से
or connections.
सुख शांति की जननी बनना,
You must become the mother of peace and happiness.
पवित्रता के पीछे सुख शांति की जननी, हमारा संपर्क भी किसी को शांति देवे.
So the mother of peace and happiness, we have to be able to give the vibrations of peace to anyone.
किसी को शांति की करंट आवे.
The current of power should be felt in those who are near us,
शांत स्वरूप आत्मा बने हैं.
so they will feel, have you become that level? So Baba is taking you into the depth.
पवित्र आत्मा.
This is what is meant as a pure soul.
पवित्र आत्मा किसको कहा जाता है? प्योर आत्मा कौन है?
Oh, what is a pure soul?
सुख शांति दे.
One who is able to give peace and happiness to another. So to what extent have you become this? Check yourself.
तो क्या होगा?
If you just
चेंज भी
check,
हो जाओ.
that means you have to
चेक करना
change.
सहज है, पर चेक के साथ साथ
Together, changing is
मामा
also
कहती थी,
needed.
चेकिंग,
Mama used to
cutting,
say checking,
करेक्शन. तीन शब्द सुनाते.
cutting, and then correcting.
चेक किया, फिर उसको काट डालो.
So when you check something, then cut it, that is, distinguish what is right and wrong, then make a permanent correction, not for the time being, but for all time. It has to be a correction that endures, so that it doesn't have to be repeated. So that's called checking, cutting, and correcting. Baba says, many have come today, just as when a dam breaks, so the water flows, and so you have also broken the dam of the law, and so many have come here. Still, there is a benefit in having the laws. Those who come according to the law, they actually receive more. And those who come because the wave is there, they only receive according to the time. So you can see that Baba, the one who is free from all bondage, is tied in the bondage, the bondage of the love of the children. I am bound in the bondage of love. Oh, child, you are binding me in the bondage of love. Baba used to give. Baba would sometimes tie a rope around someone and say, look, this is the sign of the being tied in the remembrance of Baba, the connection with Baba. First you become Baba's, and then Baba is anyway bound to you. So drama is very good and benevolent. This is a bondage of love. Together with love, what other bond is there? One is the bond of drama, then there is the bond of love. Third, what's the third one? Service? What other bondage? There is the bondage of time. Baba used to stay the whole time, and now he says there is the bondage of time. He's in the world of time, so he has to see the time. There is the bondage of the body. Baba has to see the condition of the body, the vehicle. He has to take care of the health. Baba has many bondages. If Baba wants to stay for the whole day, can he? No. So there is the bondage of the body, of the one in which he comes, the bondage of love, the bondage of time, the bondage of drama. Many ways Baba is bound, but this is a beloved bondage.
हमको प्यारा लगता है?
Do we like
बाबा
these
कहते हैं, सब
bondages?
प्यारा लगना चाहिए।
Baba says, like
बाबा
everything.
कहते मैं पराई दुनिया में ही आता हूँ,
I come
पराए
into a
तन में ही
foreign
आता हूँ,
world,
कभी
into a
मुझे बढ़िया
foreign
तन नहीं
body.
मिलेगा,
I never get a
कभी
good,
मुझे
pure
अच्छा तन नहीं
body.
मिलेगा, ये भी अच्छा है। मैं गेट खोलता हूँ, परंतु
I open the gate
स्वर्ग का गेट
to
खोलता हूँ,
heaven,
परंतु बच्चे
but
मुझे स्वर्ग में आने देते हैं?
do you
Not
let
allowed.
me come in heaven? No, it's not
बाबा
allowed.
को गेट आउट कर देते। बाबा
You make
आप
Baba
अभी
get
आराम
out.
करो, वानप्रस्थ
You
में
say,
रहो।
okay, Baba, go, you
देखो,
retire now. Look at this.
बाबा को शांति में बिठा देते और बच्चे
You
सुख
put
में मौज
Baba
करते,
into peace and you go and
है
enjoy
ना?
yourselves
सतयुग में
in
आनंद में
heaven.
रहते। तो
You live in
इसलिए
bliss in
बाबा
heaven.
कहते हैं ये बंधन
So Baba says,
बहुत प्यारा बंधन है,
this is a very beloved
ड्रामा बहुत
bondage.
अच्छा बना हुआ है,
Drama has been made very
इसलिए
well.
बंधन में होते भी आजाद है।
So it is
बंधन
very
बंधन
good to
ही
come
लगता है
into the
बाबा को
bondage.
भी,
It is not a
बंधन में
bondage,
होते हुए भी बाबा आजाद है।
but it is
बाप दादा तो
very
कहेंगे
beloved.
भले पधारे,
Baba says,
अपने
welcome,
घर पहुंच गए।
you have come to your home.
अच्छा,
Acha,
सभी अपने घर पहुंच गए हो, बाबा
you've
ने
all
वेलकम
reached
किया
home.
सभी
Baba
बच्चों
has
को,
welcomed you
चारों ओर के
to
सर्व परम पवित्र आत्माओं को,
the supremely pure souls of all four
सदा सुख
directions,
शांति की जननी पावन आत्माओं को,
to the souls who are constantly the mothers of peace and
सदा
purity,
पवित्रता की शक्ति द्वारा
who through the power of
दुख
purity
दर्द से दूर करने वाली
remove the pain and sorrow of many, many innumerable souls, you who are
सदा
deity
परमात्म
souls,
विधि द्वारा
who using the method
सिद्धि
given by
स्वरूप
God
आत्माओं को,
become
बाप
the
दादा का
embodiment of
स्नेह
attainments.
संपन्न याद प्यार और नमस्ते।
Bap Dada gives you love, remembrance,
हाँ?
filled with love.
मीठे मीठे सिकी लदे बच्चों प्रति माता पिता बाप दादा का याद प्यार, गुड मॉर्निंग और नमस्ते से all of
You
you
can
say,
say this,
हाँ?
मीठे
Loudly,
मीठे
yes.
सिकी लदे बच्चों
रूहानी बच्चों
प्रति
की रूहानी बाप
बाप
दादा को
को
माता पिता को याद
प्यार
प्यार,
और
गुड
गुड
मॉर्निंग और
मॉर्निंग,
नमस्ते।
नमस्ते.
और हमारे यहाँ सभी कहते सदा रहो हंसते,
And always be happy. As a little
सदा
extra
खुश
to the
रहो,
sign off.
ever happy।
Stay ever happy.
हॉस्टल की कुमारियों को,
Then Baba is speaking to the
Indore group.
Kumaris of the hostel
सभी पवित्र
from
महान
Indore.
आत्माएं होना,
You are all great
आजकल के
pure
महात्मा
souls,
कहलाने वालों से भी
and
अनेक
in
बार
comparison
श्रेष्ठ।
with those who call themselves great souls, you are
पवित्र
many
कुमारियों
times
का
purer.
सदा पूजन
The
होता है।
pure Kumaris are always
आप
worshipped.
सभी पावन पूज्य
You are the pure,
सदा शुद्ध
worship-worthy
आत्माएं हो ना,
souls.
कहीं अशुद्धि तो नहीं है, कोई अशुद्धि
There
तो
is
नहीं है,
no impurity.
सदा आपस में एक मत,
You are always having
स्नेही
one
सहयोगी रहने
opinion,
वाली
and you live
आत्माएं
together
हो
in
ना।
harmony with love and
संस्कार
cooperation.
मिलाने आता है,
You know how to
क्योंकि
harmonize your
संस्कार
sanskaras,
मिलन
because this is
यही
the
महानता है।
greatness means to
संस्कारों
harmonize
का टक्कर न
sanskaras.
हो,
There shouldn't be the
लेकिन
clash of
सदा
sanskaras,
संस्कार
but
मिलन की रास करते रहो।
always dance the
बहुत
harmony of
अच्छा भाग्य
sanskaras.
मिला है,
You have great
छोटेपन
fortune
में
that
महान
in
बन
your youth you
गई।
became
सदा
great.
खुश रहती हो ना,
You're always happy, aren't
कभी
you?
कोई मन से रोते तो नहीं,
None of you cry in your
निर्मोही हो,
mind. You are free from
कभी
attachment.
लौकिक परिवार याद आता है?
Do you remember your Lokik family?
दोनों पढ़ाई में होशियार हो,
Both are you
दोनों
clever
पढ़ाई में सदा
in
नंबर 1 रहना।
in both forms of study?
जैसे
Number
बाप
one,
1 है,
just as Baba
ऐसे
is
बच्चे
one.
भी नंबर 1 में।
In the same way, you daughters should be
सबसे
number
नंबर
one.
1 ऐसे बच्चे
You should become
सदा
such number
बाप
one
के
children who are always
सुना बाप के
beloved
प्रिय
by
कौन?
Baba.
समझा?
You understand? Acha,
वरदान।
the blessing.
एक व्रता के राज को जान,
Understanding the meaning of dedication to one,
वरदाता को राजी करने वाले,
make the bestower of blessing
सर्व सिद्धि
pleased,
स्वरूप भव।
receive the blessing of having
वरदाता
all
बाप के पास
attainments.
अखुट वरदान है,
There are many blessings with the
जो
bestower
जितना
of
लेने
blessings,
चाहे खुला भंडार है।
and it is an open treasure store that you can
ऐसे
take as
खुले
much as you
भंडार
want.
से
From this
कई
open
बच्चे
treasure store,
संपन्न बनते हैं
some children fill themselves
और
completely,
कोई
and
यथाशक्ति
others
संपन्न बनते हैं।
fill themselves only to the extent that they can.
सबसे ज्यादा झोली भरकर देने में
And
भोलानाथ
it is
वरदाता रूप ही है।
it is the innocent Lord who
सिर्फ
gives you the
उसको
maximum
राजी
of
करने की
blessings.
विधि को जान लो।
Just you have to know the method to keep
सर्व
him
सिद्धियां
pleased,
प्राप्त हो जाएंगी।
and then you will attain all
वरदाता
attainments.
को एक शब्द
The bestower of
सबसे प्रिय
blessings
लगता है।
likes the word
वरदाता
one
को राजी
best of
कैसे
all.
करे?
How can you keep Baba
एक
pleased?
व्रता,
By being
एक के व्रत में
totally
रहो,
dedicated
एक
to the
की याद
one.
में रहो।
Remember only one.
संकल्प
Have your
स्वप्न में भी
thoughts and dreams
दूजा व्रता न हो, दूसरा न कोई,
never with
या तो
anyone
कहीं,
else, no one else for you,
कहीं
only
नहीं तो
one.
कोई, और नहीं तो ये एक ही,
This is the only one,
अरे
no one
मेरा
else.
तो एक,
There is
से
only
मेरा
one.
तो एक,
Say this,
दूसरा
Mera to ek,
ना कोई।
dusra na koi. One
वृत्ति
Baba,
में
no one
रहे,
else.
मेरा तो एक,
Maintain
दूसरा
this
ना कोई।
in your attitude.
जिसने इस राज को जाना,
One who has
उसकी
understood
जोड़ी
this
वरदानों से
secret,
भरपूर रहती है।
their bags are filled with all kinds of blessings. And the slogan is,
मनसा और वाचा दोनों सेवाएं
do both forms of
साथ-साथ
service of the mind
तो
and
डबल
words,
फल
then
प्राप्त होता रहे।
you will attain double fruit.
मनसा और वाचा दोनों सेवाएं
Do service
साथ-साथ करो,
of the mind and
तो
words
डबल
together,
फल
and
प्राप्त
you will
होता
attain
रहेगा।
double fruit.
अच्छा,
Acha,
ओम शांति।
Om Shanti.